Hi guys, Jackie from Famished Farm. Thanks for being here. I am sitting in my living room in Northwest Alabama and I'm looking back for August 2024 and the year of minimal me. I appreciate you guys being here because you are helping me stay accountable. I am tracking my budget, my weight loss, our decluttering efforts, and I've just started the last couple of months looking at mental health. So how did we fare? Budget-wise, that's probably the biggest concern. Rod has been retired since September of 2016, and I have been semi-retired for about 3 years. We don't have paychecks anymore, so we are just trying to make sure that our retirement years stay comfortable. And part of that is looking at our budget every month. Rod is drawing a pension and Social Security. I am still working, so just not as at the level that I was working previously. I'm happy to report that my soap business brought in $400 more than I projected this month. That's always a good thing. And then our electricity bill took a bunch of that right away. We're like the rest of the country. We're experiencing record temperatures. In fact, our record was 105 last month. We had several 103s and just a lot of over 100-degree temperatures. So that is actually puts us about $25 over what I projected. But I really don't even mind that because it just means my decades old air conditioner is still plugging away, thank God. Groceries are another category that I really scrutinize. In 2023, we were spending like $200 a week for groceries for 2 people. I think that's ridiculous. I want to eat healthy, I want to have lots of variety in my meals, and I don't think I need to spend $200 a week to do it. So this month, I didn't stick to my roughly $65 budgeted bill, but I was only about $20 over a week. So we're keeping it well under $100 a week. Still room for improvement, but I'm pretty comfortable with where we're at. Our dog is one of our major expense items. Chili Dog is a problem child. This vet visit put my mind at ease on a couple fronts. I took her off her Science Diet prescription dog food that she was on for bladder stones and started feeding her a homemade diet. And the vet gave me a tentative thumbs up on that. We still need to do probably pretty frequent urine tests for her to make sure she's not forming crystals. We also looked at changing her allergy medication. Her pills are $1.70 a day. That's pretty expensive for a 10-pound dog. And so we're trying to go old school on that, and we're just going to test it out for a couple weeks and see if she's okay with it. That dog is allergic to grass, if you can believe it. And finally, a budget item that we really didn't put on the budget, but Rod celebrated his 70th birthday. So we had a little higher than normal eating out expense and entertainment expense. It was worth every penny. Starting at the beginning of August, I weighed 169.4. At the end of the month, I weighed 172. So that wasn't great. Guys, I don't know. I feel out of sorts about this. I don't feel like I'm really dieting. And I don't feel like my Manjaro is helping me stay on track the way it's done in previous months. It's something I've got to work on. But then I do try to remind myself my high weight was 237 years ago, and I started really trying to lose weight in January of 2023 when I was 219 pounds. Where I've been to where I'm at, I'm happy with that. I just wish I felt more in control. Any ideas? I could use any suggestions you might have. Now, on the decluttering front, I've got a little video I put together. Let's look at that. So the important part of this picture is look at all the boxes in the background. Those are boxes that Rod and I have been emptying during the month of August. So we did pretty good down here. And we took advantage of a lot of hot days to do that. And there you'll notice I've now collapsed all the boxes. Honestly, guys, this took a good 40 minutes to do that. And in part was one box had just a ridiculous amount of tape on it, like I was saying. And now I've actually remembered a couple boxes I have back in my soap business that I'm going to go ahead and collapse while I'm here. Why am I taking all the tape off? If you're just going to recycle the boxes, I would not even bother with this step. But many of these bigger boxes are going to end up out in my garden or in my planters in the landscape somewhere in my house, in my on my property. And if you leave these little pieces of plastic on, they do not compost. And it's just a pain in the butt. I was not real careful with this. The first year I remulched my front planters at the front of my house, and I am to this day still pulling pieces of packing tape out of there. It's maddening. Don't do it. Did I say this was 40 minutes of doing this? It was crazy. Anyway, this particular day, guys, I did not do a real good job recording what we actually unpacked. And I apologize for that, but just know we are making slow but steady progress down here in the basement. And this is just about when I'm starting to clean up for the day, actually. I'm just going to organize a few of the boxes that I've identified that I am not going to unpack because that particular box has some of Rod's childhood train set in it. There's a couple other boxes over here on this metal shelving unit that you cannot see that have modeling type things. And there's no reason to unpack that because those are just there's something that he's got to go through. So I'm just kind of reorganizing the boxes that we've got left so I can kind of see where we're at. The good news is that I need to go upstairs and get another garbage bag because what I've got down in the basement isn't big enough. I need a great big huge garbage bag for all of the stuff I'm going to throw out. Yay me. And then coming down to the basement, this piece of packing stuff, that's going back to my soap business so I can reuse that. And here I am putting some things in the Goodwill box. And good progress was made. We had a bunch of boxes go out to the van, and that big black trash bag went into the garbage. And finally, our mental health category. You know, I feel much more grounded this month. I think the sadness of the funerals has kind of abated. We have a wedding to go to. That makes everything better, right? I get to spend a lot of my day out in the garden. Hey, and we even won a couple rain barrels. Rod and I went to a rain barrel class put on by our county extension office, and everybody basically in the class went home with a free rain barrel. That was pretty awesome. So I would say August was a really good month. And like I said, in previous months, I just didn't quite feel like my happy self. And I think I'm back to it. Yeah, I'm back to it. I'm back to me. In other news for August, a big thing that's been weighing on my mind, it doesn't affect Rod in the least, but we do not have our wills finished, and we really need to make sure that that gets done. Now, haven't we done this decades ago? We don't have kids, and we don't have a very complicated financial situation, so it's not something that has been at the top of our mind. But what has really been at the top of my mind is closing my business and making sure that if I die, I'm not leaving customers out to dry. So I got this book off of Amazon, and it's a blueprint about how you want your belongings handled, your business affairs, and just making sure that your wishes are accounted for. So the first part of that whole deal for me, is getting my online life under control. And that meant a password manager. So with a password manager, you have one password that you can access all your other accounts. Now, all those other accounts need to be linked into the password manager. So it takes quite a bit of time to get everything set up in the manager. I would say I am 95% of the way there. The biggest things were my business and related accounts, Rod's retirement information, and banking, all the usual financial things. So that is a major step forward that took hours and hours of time and was worth just the peace of mind. Doing that is a great, great first step. Guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate any comments you might have. If you're in the same situation, trying to make sure your money doesn't run out in retirement, let me know in the comments. And we'll be back next month for the September recap, and we'll let you know how we're going into the end of the year, how things are looking. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.